Hey guys, Coach Dan here. Whoa. Before you flick over to the cat videos or the fishing videos or whatever videos you go into next, I'm wanting to do a program builder for all my subscribers. So I want to give you guys essentially a step-by-step guide on how to build your own program. Now, the issue with just sort of coming into the gym and just doing whatever you want or doing what you think for the day or just choosing stuff at random or even following a program you got online or from someone you follow like me, the issue with that is it's not built for you. But I can give you guys the skills to build out your own program. I think that will be super valuable. You kind of learn what it is you have to do for yourself, learn what suits you, and then build that over time. So if that's something that you're interested, I want you to comment below, build it, and also subscribe. So smash that subscribe button, comment, build it, and we'll get that out to you pronto. So essentially it'll be a step-by-step guide and examples of how to build out a program for you and your goals. And then again, across the time, if your goals change or you change, you know how to kind of go back and build it. It's kind of like a, what's the expression? You give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. You teach him to fish, you feed him for life. So if we give you this skill, or if I give you this skill, you'll have that for life and wherever you go. You don't have to be reliant on external programs or anything like that. Anyway, today we've got a pull workout or a back workout. So we will go on to that now, the specifics of today's video. So a couple of tweaks we made last week seem like they have a lot of potential. We'll follow through with them, see if we can increase, see if they are going to be worthwhile, and then we'll go from there. Legs are a little bit jacked up from yesterday, so that's nice. So we just keep this ball rolling until we can't roll anymore. So remember, if you want to learn to build your own program, subscribe to the channel, comment build it below, and then we'll get out a PDF on how to build your own program, and then you can have that skill going forward. All right, let's get in the workout. Okay, first cab off the rank, we have this step back chest supported row variation, single arm. So the reason I do this one is because our particular row variation, the angle of these handles goes significantly out. And what that does, as you start to row, it'll start to take your arm away from your body. I want this to be a lat dominated row. So I want it to come nice and close to my body and even kind of hooking around towards my spine because that's a job of your lat. So instead of doing this seated, I'll step off to the side, place my foot on the frame of the machine here, use the pad to brace against, lengthen and stretch everything out, and then pull as if I'm pulling right into the pocket. Kind of angles in and stretches across the body, pull in towards the pocket. So this one I found to be, for us, for this machine, a little bit more effective for feeling my lat and getting my lat to work. Actually one of my top ones out there. So downside, again you have to kind of stand up, shift to the side and do that kind of stuff, but definitely worth it in my mind. One more warm up and we'll go to set one. 3 sets, 10 to 15 reps. So the step back single arm chest supported row. So you can see that I step to the side of the machine, place my foot on the frame, kind of locks me into place. And what that allows is this path where my arm never goes too wide away from my body. So if we got in here like such, the arms will start to hook away, start to incorporate things like your upper back. And I want to make this more about the lat. So keeping the arm close to the body and having that shoulder extension, and none of that is worthwhile on a movement like this. I do 10 to 15 reps, 3 sets, training pretty hard. The first 2 sets, I think it went for something like 14 and then 8. So because of that, dropping out of that 10 rep range, I'll then reduce the weight to something I can get back into that rep range. So that's the kind of progression method I use. It's called double progression, where we give a rep range, say 10 to 15, shoot for a weight. When you get to the top of that rep range, add weight the next week, the following session. If you fall out of that rep range, reduce weight. So we have options to go both up in reps. So if I got 14, probably stick with this weight next week, aim for 15. When I started to fall outside that 10 rep range, then I reduce the load so I can get back in there. All right, let's move on. All right, next we have the seated lat prayer variation that I played around with this week. So you set up at the functional trainer or the dual cable machine, but with the narrow weight stack, not the wide one. We've got this particular bar that kind of connects between the two, which makes this doable. So you might have seen the standard lat prayer variations where you're at a single cable machine or a single stack cable machine and you're dragging down like that. Even ones where it's the same, but you've got an incline bench and you're coming around like that. So I found this to be good, because we can set it at a height that makes it hard at the beginning. And as I come down with those other variations, because it's one cable, the cable can smack in the face or smack in the body. So this one I found to be really good. Even as little as about 3 weeks ago, I was doing a variation where it was a bar, and I just didn't find that as effective. It just felt not quite right for me. Changed this in last week and feel pretty good with it. So I'll grab the bar about shoulder width apart, we'll do the trick. The cable stacks are both set at an equal height. The weight stacks are both equal. And again, it's going to be set such that it's pretty hard at the top. So I'm coming directly out against the cable machine at the bottom. So get set, drag down like such. Slight bend at the elbow, usually like for these ones. Still figuring out things like rep range and arm position and stuff like that, but I found this to be good. Bench gives us good stability. I'll do 2 sets here to go along with my other lat exercise, that row variation. 2 sets of this, only 10 to 15 reps as well, I think, for the time being. And yeah, I did it last week, so I'll try and get a little bit better than that. All right, little practice and then we'll be ready to go. All right, so that's my new Lat Prayer variation. So I think that's going to be a winner for time to come. Comparably to when I was doing it on the bench, I got massive stimulus from my tricep and chest. Here, it is more lats, and I've only been practicing it for 2 weeks. So as far as lats go, combining the 3 sets of rows and 2 sets of this, that's kind of the stuff that I designed specifically for lats. Next 2 exercises more specifically for the upper back. Obviously, it's not exclusive, but I am trying to bias them, one towards the lats, one more towards the upper back. All of them cross over a little, but I'm trying to bias them as much as I can. So when I track the volume, I can separate the two and know how much work I'm doing per thing. Okay, on to upper back. So next we have the seated row. Now we're moving on to the upper back. I'm taking a handle, which will have my arms kind of 45-ish degrees away from my body. So instead of keeping them close like the single arm row we had before or the pullover, now we get the arms a little bit further away from the body. So the arm is now coming around in this direction here, making it a little bit more about the upper back. So this funky handle just is quite helpful for grip if you have any issues with the grip. But for me, this is again about the right width, and that's why I've chosen this one. So lock in. So for this, being that it's upper back dominant, we want to feel the shoulder blades kind of roll forward and then pull just below your chest. This can go a little bit higher or lower, depending on what's comfy for you, but just note that we don't want it so low that the arms are coming really close to the body, making it a lat dominant row. We want it to be sort of arms coming away from the body, sort of probably anywhere 45 and above. Anything too narrow and that lat gets a really good position to pull from. We do 3 sets here, 2 sets of another upper back exercise. For pretty much all my back movements, I exclusively use like an 8 to 15 rep range. For me, just always found that to feel pretty good, not too heavy that you're fucking with technique too much. You feel a good stimulus. When I go really heavy with back movements, often you stop getting that feeling or that sensation. That might be something I have to work back to in the future, but for now, work that kind of 10 to 15 rep range. Really suits me well, so I have no real need to go to the heavier rep range necessarily at the moment. All right, maybe one more warm-up set and then we will go for it. Okay, so 3 sets of that done. 10 to 15 I've already fancy, maybe 8 to 15 even there. Nothing wrong with doing 6 to 12 reps, a bit heavier if you like that. Potentially going too much lighter on things like that might burn out your biceps and stuff like that. So I find that moderate range has been the most successful in there. I think a key factor to keep in mind with this being that it's for the upper back, that we definitely want that protraction or the rolling forward of your shoulder blades. That is an advantage of a chest supported variation out there because you put your chest on the pad and it essentially aids. You can just lean into that chest, let everything roll forward, squeeze the shoulder blades back. Here, you have to create your own stability. You have to create your own protraction and retraction, or rolling forward, rolling back of the shoulder blades. But I still like this exercise. So, you know, in place of this, if you really wanted that chest pad, you got things like T-bar row, other chest supported row variations, dumbbell rows on the bench, things like that. They might be more optimal, but again, this is a good sub for me. I like it, feels effective. It's about getting that technique where we roll the shoulders, squeeze, roll the shoulders, squeeze. Okay, let's move on. So this is probably the biggest abomination of an exercise I have. So I'm trying to basically train all the functions of the upper back, and one of the functions is sort of depression of the scapula. So you think about your shoulder blades, they kind of come and squeeze together and they also kind of rotate down like this. So with this, we don't really have a machine that kind of angles from high to low to get that depression and retraction. So I'm kind of trying to fill in that gap. So I've taken a bench, I've placed it in front of our lat pull down. You also have to weight it so it doesn't get pulled towards the machine. So
This takes a bit of fucking around, but I believe there to be some merit here. So I'll take these handles, get into position like such, kneel on the bench, let everything protract forward, pull, squeeze the shoulder blades down and back. So every time I do it, I've got to fiddle around with it a little bit more. But this seems to be about right, what I've got here. So yeah, we'll see if it's worth it, eh? I'll do the fuckery and then see how we go over the next couple of months. All right, one more practice and we're on. That's the fuckery on that one. For all the fuckery that's in it, I actually still think it's pretty good. So, might be worth sticking with over time because it feels pretty good. Just takes a lot of fuckery, getting into position, setting the right distance, weighting the bench. That's all a bit of a pain in the ass, but it does feel like it gets a part of my back that doesn't get trained on other movements. So I'm thinking keep it in. Hopefully the setup will get easier and easier each time the more I get a handle on it. All right, everyone's favorite t-shirt muscles coming up, biceps, the double Bs, big biceps, here we go. Focus here, like we were discussing yesterday, is not to kind of drift as far as effort and intensity goes, which happened yesterday as I got towards the back end of the workout. So now this stuff is important, so to kind of switch off and not pay a lot of attention to it, it's doing myself a disservice. So we've got our decline lying dumbbell curl. If you don't have a decline bench, you could simply do this lying on a flat bench and you get a similar benefit. So the idea behind this one is, because we're lying down, as I do the curl, my arm or my bicep gets to stretch out because my arm gets behind the level of the body, as well as in that position, I am going up against gravity sooner. So it's hard in the stretch position, which again seems to be quite valuable for muscle growth. So a incline dumbbell curl where you lean slightly back gives you good stretch, but it doesn't have you go up against gravity as soon into the movement. So this is kind of like ticking both of those off, getting stretch and making it hard in that stretch. It's not the be all and end all, it's just an option to try. So I'll set the dumbbells on the platforms, or whatever these foot pedals are called, hook my legs in, lie back with the dumbbells. I like to pinch my elbows to the bench to give me some level of stability. And that's us. Stretch, big stretch, feel the tension in the bicep. And then just place them down when you're finished. So we're doing 5 sets of this because again, biceps is something I want to get a little bit extra work into. It's an area I want to improve. And we superset it with a rear delt pull across for rear delt. So we go pretty much walk back and forth. These machines are like 4 or 5 meters away. So I'll show you that one in a second here. But me doing this superset means I work my biceps while the biceps rest. I'm working something else, and I can kind of move back and forth between them, save a little bit of time. So if you're time poor, these supersets where you use different muscle groups can be super valuable. It's not a must, it's just something I do to save a little bit of time because I do have a couple other things I have to do with my day. Can't stay here all day. So I'll show you this rear delt pull across and then I'll show you what a superset kind of looks like. Uno momento. Rear delt pull across. So essentially we're back at the functional trainer here. I set these just above shoulder level. I know for me that's height 14. I do 10 to 20 reps here, 5 sets in combination with the bicep curl. So just above shoulder height. There will be nothing wrong with this being higher. You know, probably over the course of time, I might even work through different heights of this just to make sure we're using the rear delt in all its functions. But for right now, my variation is just above shoulder height, sort of coming slightly down. You don't need anything really to hang on for this variation. You simply hold onto the ball or the attachment at the end. We'll flip, we'll face in, across the body, grab one, across the body, grab the other, and we're coming across the body like that. So again, we want to stretch the arm across the body as far as it will go to make sure that rear delt stretches across. Stretch, pull across. So you could do this on the big cable machine, but I like this one just because they're close. You can kind of get right across the body, feels pretty good, and makes it hard in the starting position as always. So I'll show you a superset here in a moment. It's moving for the dumbbell curl, straight over here and kind of walking between both, saving me that little bit of time, and they don't affect each other too much. So have a look-see at that. Here is how a superset works, biceps into rear delts. Okay. Easy walk over, not really a rush, but we get here, biceps jacked up, and we go rear delts. All right, so that's how Superset looks for me. You can see that they're not too far to commercial gym, so sometimes it's not always doable, but when it is, it's good. Saves you a bit of time. The rest from that is the work for this. Easy little transition from one to the next. It's not really rushed, but it saves you a little bit of time. On this one here, I do 10 to 20 reps. On that one there, 10 to 15 reps. That one's pretty tough because dumbbells here jump big, so the next sort of weight bracket, which actually that was 15, so that was 14. When I get up to 15 reps of that, I'll have to try 15s. You'd expect the reps come down pretty significantly. Anyway, that's not your problem, but yeah, this is a superset. Easy, saves time, can work when you're choosing opposing muscle groups or antagonist muscle groups without affecting each other too much. I'm doing 5 of these and then 1 more bicep exercise. I'll give you a close-up of each exercise so you can check it out. 5 sets of my lying dumbbell or decline lying dumbbell curl into my rear delt pull across. Done. I've got 2 sets here just to cap off some bicep work. As in the last couple of months, I've increased the volume of biceps by 20%, a lot of the upper body muscles, and I'm seeing good results from that. So the lying version of a cable curl I like because I just like lying down, it would appear. You get to lie down, you get to let your back chill, you get stabilization, you get all these things, and you can just focus on the curl. So you'll notice a few things. I use a curl bar. So that's a bar with a little kink in it. You could use straight bars, fine. I take this narrow grip like this. You could choose what grip feels comfy for you. I set it below the level of the bench. This is just a standard flat bench, but it can only be so low. If I go too low and you go to curl, you essentially smash yourself in the crutch. So it can be, I like it low, again, to make it hard at the beginning, but not so low that you smash into yourself the whole time. So whatever bar you decide to use, you'll grab the handle, lie down with it, and then simply curl. So all the things we know about the standing curl, fully straight at the arm, flex as far as you'll go. I'm going to do 10 to 20 reps, same weight as last week, see if I can't get a few extra reps. Don't really need too much warming up here because I'm pretty warm, so we'll be ready to go in a minute or so. Alright guys, that's a wrap on the pull workout. That was nice. So yeah, things are going well there. Now remember from the start of the video, if you'd like to learn how to build your own program and not just follow off with someone else's, I want you to comment down below, build it, subscribe, and then I'm going to put that out for you guys. Everyone who's a subscriber will get a PDF on how to build your own program. So this will allow you to not worry about, oh, what is that person doing? What is that person doing? You'll be able to figure it out for yourself. Step-by-step guide, examples of how to do it. So simply comment down below, build it, subscribe to the channel, and then we'll get that out to you. So yeah, a summary of that workout, really good. Things are going well. We're in a real sweet spot at the moment, really loving it. Often I'll start the workout feeling a bit meh, and then we get started and yeah, it starts to flow, realize that yeah, my performance is good. I'm feeling good. It's just, yeah, the initial motivation sometimes isn't so flash hot, but I don't think that's unusual. So once you get out there, you realize it's fun, it's good, it's enjoyable. And that's something to keep in mind if you're starting out in your gym journey, if you want to call it that, or whatever you'd like to call it, is that it is really important that at the beginning phase, yeah, like everyone wants an outcome or a result or a goal or whatever it might be, but making it fun and enjoyable is probably, 50 times more important. If you make this fun, enjoyable, and yeah, effective is great as well, but fun and enjoyable means you'll come back and do it again. You can eventually work on the effectiveness, but if you come here and it's just a pain in the ass and it's a real grind and you hate it and anything like that, it's going to be really hard to keep coming back long enough for you to get any of your goals anyway. So in short, when we're coming in, yes, we want it to be effective. Yes, everyone wants to accomplish some form of outcome or result or goal, but yeah, make it fun, make it enjoyable, and then the effectiveness you can add in over time. All right, so as always, it's about progress over perfection.